welcome to your first act for this evening, the wonderful Angus Dunican.
Hello! Hey, how's it going? Yeah, it was fine. Yeah. Hello, my name is Angus Dunican, Robot Wars semi-finalist 1998. That's right, you can Google the shit out of me. So as you can imagine, the last 15 years of my life has just been a blur of drugs and women. Yeah, I'm called Angus. I've got a Scottish name, but I'm not actually Scottish, as one or two of you may have gleaned. Yeah, the sharp-eared amongst you. Yeah, no, I'm not Scottish. I wish I was Scottish, though. I think I'm not often sort of commented upon facet of the Scottish is their talent for casual surrealism. I'll give you an example. I was walking through Edinburgh, and I had a mad hankering for a sausage roll because I'm a hedonist. And I thought, I'll ask a local. So I asked this guy, I said, excuse pal, do you know if there's a bakery anywhere around here? And he goes, hey, there's one down that way, but I warn you. It doesn't sell any bread. And just walked off. He bossed that. He dropped the mic. He was off. It was like, that was great. I thought I'd love to go to that bakery and ask for bread. Because I imagine they have everything else. They'll have armfuls of croissants and danishes. And they'll be like, hey, Alistair, this prick wants bread. Maybe, I don't know. Could happen. Yeah, it could happen. No, so I'm obviously not Scottish. I'm actually, I'm from the southeast coast of England. I'm from Sussex, which is where our chief export is wankers. I'm from a town called Eastbourne. Anyone been to Eastbourne? I don't believe you. In your eyes, there's hope. It's a funny place to grow up. There were two clubs in Eastbourne when I was growing up. There was TJ's, which stands for Tuxedo Junction Guys. But that was cool. It was cheesy. You go and dance. It was fine. It was all right. It was non-threatening. Because the only other place you could go was a place called King's. And the thing is, if you went to King's, you would either definitely get lucky, definitely, or you would definitely end up in A&E. That was it. It was a split, perfect Vegas odds. If King's was a person, it would be a drunk, naked woman with a baseball bat, tossing a coin. I went home to Eastbourne for Christmas. I had a nice. Did we have a nice Christmas? Yeah, it's kind of fashionable to dislike Christmas as you get older, isn't it? Because you get annoyed about it. But Christmas is very important to me because you see, I don't know if anyone else here, maybe, has anyone here got a birthday in September? Few September born. Of those people, anyone born between sort of the 20th and the 30th? Yeah, you over there, you're with me on this, mate. Because the thing is, like, if you're late September, that is pretty much damn near 9 months from Christmas Day. So it's very hard for me not to believe that I owe my entire existence to the fact that my parents had slightly too much wine with dinner. And also knowing my parents, or especially my dad, Christmas 1982 must have been a particularly shit year for Christmas telling. There's nothing on 1, there's nothing on 2, nothing on 3, and Channel 4 hasn't been invented yet. Right, come on, upstairs, let's get on with it. My parents, man, my parents have been together for 36 years, and it's too long. No, it is, because they've completed marriage. They've sort of run out of things to argue about, and now they're just clutching at straws to try and spice up their failing argument life. Either that, or they're staying together out of spite. I'm not really. I'll give you an example. I went home, and I went straight up to my old room, and it's lovely to be back in your old room, isn't it? Because you're like, this is the room in which I first touched myself. If these walls could speak, they'd probably say, it's him again! So I was upstairs in my room, having a bit of a reminisce, and you've spotted subtext before, I see. I was upstairs. My parents, I've not been home 5 minutes, my parents kick off downstairs, and I think it's lovely when you can hear your parents arguing through the floor, because it's muffled, isn't it? And to me, that always sounds like Pingu's parents. No, because all you can hear is... So I go to the I creep to the banisters. Immediately, I'm 8 again. I'm there, you know, having a bit of a worry. Are they going to get divorced? They never will. They're too stubborn. Sometimes I see this look in my mother's eyes that seems to say, it took 25 years to pay for this house. We'll see who blinks first, motherfucker. I hear my dad kicking off. He's going, it's a waste! It's a waste of money! It's a waste of... So I just sort of presume they're talking about me. So, be fair. So I get between them. I split them apart. I get between them. On the right, my father, hot, red, angry, like a kettle, but in loafers. And my mother, with mascara streaming down her face. She's a wreck. But in her left hand, an Indian takeaway menu. I'm like, guys, what's going on? She says, your father won't let me order more than one naan bread. And that is 36 years. The cabin fever of that. That's just, it's like Coronation Street if it was written by Samuel Beckett. It's weird. I actually fell asleep on the train home, coming back from my parents a while ago. I fell asleep on the train home and I woke up and I had no idea where I was. I was in fuck knows whereville. My phone had died, and so I had to go to a phone box, like a savage, and call National Rail Inquiries. And I don't know if you've had to call these people recently, because you're not talking to people. They don't staff it anymore. You're talking to the machines. You're talking to Skynet. And first of all, you get the woman, and she says, hello. Welcome to National Rail Inquiries. Which is very much the kind of voice you'd expect to hear as you enter, like, the lobby of Dignitas, I think. You get her, and then she says, let me transfer you now to my colleague in Train Tracker. Her colleague? But I get her colleague, and it's wonderful. It's this sort of, it's this wonderful sort of brash male cyber Clarkson. That's the best way to describe it. I can see him in my mind's eye coming out of the darkness. This is how he sounds. He goes, hi, welcome to Train Tracker. As if to say, right, now we've got rid of the skirt, let's talk trains. You don't need to call them anymore, though, do you? Because everybody has smartphones, and that's the whole thing. And I don't have like a really. I do have a smartphone, but I don't have like an iPhone. And it's shit, and I don't really like them. I don't like because I think also for a kickoff, I think they screw up the dynamic in pubs. Because I don't know what your relationship's like with your mates, but the last thing I need when I'm in a pub with my mates getting fucked up, the last thing I need conversationally is access to facts. Personally, I was looking forward to an evening of anecdotal evidence and blind conjecture. Thank you very much. But no, it's not. I prefer that. I don't want someone to come in telling me how the world is. When was the last time reality did you any favours? But also, I don't like them because I don't like what they do to the human face. I think there's such a thing as iPhone chin. You've probably seen it on the train or on the bus. It's this. It's just... It's sort of unseemly, isn't it? I think if you take the iPhone out of that occasion, you look like somebody who's had a stroke. Sat in the day room conducting along to Classic FM. Time for your mushy peas, Albert. Fuck off! I'm conducting Tchaikovsky. I'm really glad you laughed at that, because that can go either way. I did that joke in front of quite a weird crowd. They were quite, actually, no, the front row were nice. The front row were sort of young professionals. They were there with their haircuts and things. And no, they were nice. They were all right. I asked them what they do, and they said, oh, yeah, we all work in events. Now, I know... No, come on. I know that is a job, and there's probably some people here who work in events. That's fine. But I think to my parents' generation, that is such an amorphous job title, isn't it? It's like saying, what do you do? Oh, I work in occurrences. Yeah, I'm looking to move into phenomena, but... You know. Very competitive, you know. But they were all right. I like them because everyone else in the room. I'm not just doing this for the sake of like sort of shitty class warfare. Everyone else in that room, every man jack of them, they were all bankers. It was a gig like quite near the city, and I was doing that bit I did a minute ago about the iPhones back there behind me in time. I was doing that bit, and I asked them casually, "Does anyone here have an iPhone?" There was just this collective fart of privilege, just yeah, it just rose out of the audience, and I lost it. And I was like, "What is it like? What must it be like to be you? Was it like waking up in the morning and going, is there anything to eat, darling? I don't know. There might be some cold swan in the fridge." Because I have lots of hang-ups about not having much cash. You know, I don't have much cash. I live in quite a poor area of London. It's fun though. I like living where I live because it's exciting. There's lots of interesting things. You know, there's lots of things you have to get used to when you live in quite a dangerous area. Like, you know, car alarms are like kind of the dawn chorus in the background, but you have to kind of have a kind of you have to be sort of removed from it, don't you? In those situations, you can't get involved. I feel very much how I imagine David Attenborough must feel in those situations, because the car's going ah 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 ah, but the Vauxhall Nova's cries are in vain. His attackers are swift and merciless. But it is nice. I quite like living around. And just as an example, I'll leave you with this. As an example of the kind of the fun things that can happen to you in a place like that. I was walking down the road in southeast London, New Cross, and there's a guy walking down the road towards me, and he had this, which is like the brake light off a scooter, and he had this, and he was walking down the road towards me like this. He spots me. He sidles up next to me and he goes, "Here, mate, get on that." I thought, all right. And I held it up to my eyes, and immediately I could see what he was talking about, because it's like a Fresnel lens, you see, so it sort of splits the light. I mean, no, it's not Avatar, mate, but, you know. But I think if you're fucked on meths, then that's going to be wonderful, isn't it? And this was a couple of years ago. I thought, well done him. Well done him. There's a recession on. And here is a man making his own entertainment. I was very impressed by that. I went to give it back to him. He's like, "It's all right, mate, you can keep it. I've got a spare." As he's walking away, he goes, "And they have the nerve to charge us for a TV license." Actually, I'm not going to leave on that. I'll leave on this. Okay, just sorry, one more. When I was at home in my parents' house recently, I was going through all my stuff in my room, you know, up there, and I was going through all my old stuff, and I found my porn, which I had from when I was younger. And I was like, oh my God, and I found it down the back of the sink, and there it was, these 3 porn DVDs, all dusty and covered in spiders, because that's what I'm into, sir. And I was looking at it, and I was thinking, oh my God, I can't believe I ever owned these. Look at these, they're disgusting. And I looked on the back of one of them, and on it was a Post-it note in my brother's handwriting that just said, "Angus, Mum says the Salvation Army wouldn't take these." You guys have been absolutely delightful. Thank you for having me. I've been Angus Dunican. Good night!